everyone. This is Coach Steele. Of course, this is another episode of Coach Steele's Finance Training. Of course, that is my YouTube channel name, and I am excited about the episode that we have on today with Coach Steele's Finance Training. We have a special guest today, ladies and gentlemen. So let's give it up for our special guest. And our special guest today is Anitra Perry. I'm going to allow her to kind of introduce herself and explain who she is. But today, I want everyone to know that we're going to have a conversation today about entrepreneurship. And this part of entrepreneurship is going to be about entrepreneurs who create products, who sell products, who have to come up and what I call do the math on what those products will cost and what it takes to distribute those products. A little overview of all of that. But before I go any further, who are you?
Hello, my name is Anitra Perry, and I am the proud owner of Posh Lifestyle Company. It is a lifestyle, self-care, and wellness brand. And like Coach Steele shared earlier, it is a product-based business, and I carry home and spa essentials that reinforce making sure that you take good care of yourself. And some of those products span from body scrubs, body butters, candles, perfume, aromatherapy, everything that you can use to treat yourself and create your own at-home spa.
Okay. And of course, I know you because she also is my sister, my biological sister, same mother, same father. So I'm excited to have my sister here to talk about entrepreneurship and products. So with this guest, we go way back. I've known her my whole life. So this should be pretty interesting. So y'all stay tuned and hopefully you do learn something, especially my entrepreneurs that have products and you're trying to sell products and you may have multiple products. So it'll be pretty interesting conversation. Feel free to, once again, like, subscribe, and comment. We would love for you to leave comments. If you have products, what products do you have? So put pictures of those products in the comment area and things like that so we can tap into what you have going on as well. And so we can circulate funds and keep money in the house, keep money within the team, so to speak. So let's huddle up on today. And another thing, when it comes to entrepreneurship, we really have no choice but to talk about financial literacy. So I'm excited to engage in a little financial literacy talk. But before we do, my sister also has a family of her own. So tell us a little bit about your family.
Okay. So I am a wife, a mother, wife of 24 years. We have 3 children. 2 are in college. And we have our youngest, she is in school. She attends private school in Alabama, where we reside.
Yeah, so she is married, and her husband, which is my brother-in-law, Derek, it was a great trade because when we were younger, we both played video games and things like that. So I was excited that I had a brother-in-law that played NCAA football and Madden and 2K and all that good stuff. And so it's just been a great relationship for me ever since. So I'm excited. Like I said, great trade. We are on a team, so teams do make trades. But anyway, as we go a little bit further, what is your current occupation right now?
Okay. I am currently an employee as well as an entrepreneur.
Okay. Go ahead.
You're the interviewee.
I like that because I wanted to be able to show a different aspect to people that you can still have what we call a regular 9-to-5 W-2 job, but also be an entrepreneur and have your own ventures and business going on the side or equal to what you have going on. There's a way to multitask and do both. And so
absolutely,
with doing both, speak to that. Like, what is it like you having a 9-to-5, but also being an entrepreneur and creating products and having to distribute them?
Okay, so I do have a 9 to 5. I am a school teacher. And so I have that 9 to 5, but I also have a business. And sometimes it does feel like two different things, but then it also feels like, although I am a teacher, I'm a business owner. So I carry both with me at the same time. And so it's I have two different roles as far as my occupation goes.
Mm-hmm.
So today's work may consist of, yes, I'm teaching, but then also I'm creating more products, or I'm preparing for a pop-up shop, or I'm preparing orders for an online sale.
So a lot of times as a teacher, of course, we think about school Monday through Friday. Of course, we know it is summertime now and it's the holidays.
Yes.
So during the school year, Monday through Friday kind of belongs to the school. And then on the weekends, is it more like entrepreneurship time, or how do you juggle that?
No, I'm an entrepreneur 24/7. And so in the mornings, my mornings vary. Obviously, every day I get up to go to work Monday through Friday. But sometimes those mornings consist of I'm making a product, filling an order, and then I get ready for work.
Let's start with candles, because
Okay.
we have some candles right here in front of us. And here I have a scented candle.
Yes, that's the banana pudding.
Which is banana pudding. And of course, I'll make sure that I put some pictures in the video as well. And it smells like banana pudding. I also here have peach cobbler.
Yes.
So these candles will make you hungry. Also, this one, the lemon pound cake. Mm-hmm. Now that's fresh. That's fresh. And of course, you all will see the pictures as well. And in those pictures, you'll see the that product as well in the I call them pictures and the candle. So what I'm saying is, like, when I look at the candles, not only are they candles, they work, they're amazing, but it's also artistic. So your candles are actually art. It's just as if like a picture on the wall. They are also artistic. But my question is, what made you wake up and say, I'm going to make not a peach cobbler for dinner, but what made you say, I'm going to make a candle that looks like peach cobbler?
Okay, so how Posh began was, at one point, remember, we all had to stay home. And a light went off with staying home and not being as busy as I once was before. Being able to stay home and relax and not have as many things to check off the to-do list. And I just felt a rejuvenation. And I started just thinking to myself, why is this not a part of my daily life? Because it just makes sense. I feel refreshed. My cup is refilled. I don't feel burnt out or overwhelmed. And so it started with making the candles, because I loved having the bubble bath and lighting the candles. It was a treat to myself, for myself, that time for myself. My husband even got me one of those boards to go in the bathtub, and I put my iPad there and watch whatever show or just do an audio book. But it was my time for me, and it just refreshed myself. And it wasn't just, oh, okay, well, this is bath time, but it actually was more nurturing to me, being refreshed and rested. So that's how the candles came to be. And I am also a cake decorator. So as I kept experimenting with the different fragrances, I became more curious about making the candles look like they smell.
Okay. So you get the visual,
yes,
and the physical look, but then you also get the sense with your smell as well.
Yes.
So you're getting a lot in that one candle. And I have a lot of other questions, like what other scents you have, candle scents, and they look so good. I call them flavors. What other flavors what are the three over there?
Over here, we have strawberry shortcake, and then there's whipped cream, and we have a little strawberry in the top there, and some strawberry crumbles. And then this one on the far end is country apple tart, and it has some little crumbles as well, and then an apple slice is in here. And then this is the signature candle, signature scent. And citrus notes, and then there's a peony in the top of the candle as well. These are called embeds, and then I also have perfume. I have perfume and cologne. This is the signature perfume as well, called Posh. So it's all about having an experience. So there are different things, as you touched on earlier, about the smell and visual. So it's all about having an experience, more like a sensory experience.
Okay, so what's interesting, I do know that you also do baking and you do cakes, you do cupcakes and things like that. Also, as an entrepreneur, which is another way you bring in revenue, income. But what's interesting is, in a sense, you're like still baking some of those same things because you set this on fire and it burns. So it's like while you were baking and cooking, you would smell these things.
Yes.
And so you put it in a position that even if you're not cooking, you're still smelling those things. So it's all connected and interwoven. And so
I like to call it like the desserts without the calories. So you can still have your desserts without.
Okay, good idea. As long as you don't allow these beautiful scents to cause you to go eat something. But I'm telling you, they smell good. And we'll leave the link in here as well. So if you want to order some candles, we can get those to you as well. And you answered one of my questions, because one of my questions was, what is that signature candle, or what's like one or two candles that everybody just likes and they would prefer to have? And so I know you mentioned the signature one.
Yes.
And what's it called again?
Posh.
Posh.
A lot. I get a lot of compliments on my perfume and the candle as well. They go crazy over that all the time. And another would be the lemon pound cake.
Oh yeah. Okay. Okay. So we do have those. So if you want to start off with the signature one and then graduate to the banana pudding, like I have, and if you watch some of my older videos, if you see a candle being lit in the background, it's usually the banana pudding. And so she kindly brought me another banana pudding while she came to visit. So when we talk about the life of an entrepreneur, and I think you mentioned earlier, you may have. Well, no, I don't think you have. How long have you been an entrepreneur?
Oh my goodness. Well, I have been an entrepreneur since the age of 14. As you know, growing up, our mom encouraged us and supported everything as far as being self-sufficient and being a go-getter. And at one point, we took a babysitting class and the library, local library. And in the babysitting class, I became CPR certified. And once I completed the class and had my card, I started advertising to babysit, and having that CPR certification certainly did help. It made me more marketable. And that's how I started my journey into entrepreneurship. And then fast forward to I became a cake decorator, and I catered corporate and social events. And then, as I mentioned earlier, we had that time where we had to stay home and not everybody was socializing like they used to. And so I had to do a pivot. And it was more of an accidental pivot. It wasn't intentional. I never thought that I would make candles. I wasn't setting out to make candles. I just happened to fall into it. But because we were no longer socializing, celebrating, and there were so many stipulations and restrictions, and I had relocated to a new town, there was a pivot in my entrepreneurial journey, if you will, and it became more so about self-care and wellness. So.
You know what's interesting is and and y'all, there's a lot that we skipped over that we would not even have time to get into it because she only named a few of the entrepreneurial ventures. She did have her own dance studio.
Yes.
She did choreography for a number of people in the city as well, teaching and coaching and training. And so there's a lot of other things that we could hit on, but I know we don't have enough time.
You can just have me back. That's all.
Okay, we'll have you back. Now, another thing, what was interesting is when you talk about a lot of things and opportunities that opened up for you as an entrepreneur and other people, you were one of the first people on the scene who was having fun during the pandemic making things.
Yes.
So during the pandemic, you started posting and
Yes.
and sewing because she does sewing as well. She started sewing masks, homemade masks with different designs, looks, logos, all of this stuff. And then all of a sudden, something that you started doing for fun during the pandemic, Posh, your lifestyle,
Yes.
it became a thing and people started calling you.
Yes. Okay. So as we were, going through this pandemic and quarantining and all this new information was coming out and we're all trying to stay on top of it, finding out which way is the best way to stay healthy. And they were saying masks were the answer, but yet we were running out of them. And so out of a concern for my loved ones, I created a much simple way to create the masks. And so once I did that, I uploaded a video to show everybody how to make masks so that they could stay healthy. Little did I know, a friend of mine contacted me and she said, nobody wants to make these. We want you to make them for us. And so that's how that began. I started making masks. I was getting orders every day. And so to make it more fun and interesting, because it was a scary time for all of us, I was looking at picking out different patterns and colors. And, we have different sports teams. So I was trying to find things that while we're going through this, it was still an element of ease, comfort, relief, trying to find the joy in what we were all going through. And so that's how the mask began.
And you started taking orders online.
Yes.
And started mailing off masks to people.
Yes.
And I found it interesting. An entrepreneur, especially entrepreneurs who know how to make product, anytime there's an opportunity, an entrepreneur that is creative will take advantage and capitalize and find a niche and be able to service people. And so you provided a product and a service to people that was much needed. And so there's no telling. And think about this: when you call your product Posh what?
Lifestyle.
Posh Lifestyle?
Yes.
Did you ever think about the fact when you were making masks for people, you actually saved some lifestyles?
Wow.
Uh-oh. Yeah.
I definitely was trying to make a difference in everybody's lifestyle and trying to, again, ease, comfort, to reduce that overwhelm, people being anxious and nervous and not knowing. And so I was trying to provide, which again, I was trying to provide something for free and just wanting to help. And it turned into a business opportunity, but just trying to do right and do well by anybody who needed that help. So
yeah, Posh saved some lives and some lifestyles. And so I'm dropping nuggets in here for entrepreneurs. You got to catch them when I drop them. One, entrepreneurs who create products, look for opportunities, look for niches that you find out, a niche, however you want to pronounce it. Look for those niches out there, those opportunities, those zones where people are in need of what you make, and don't underestimate the impact of your product. Absolutely. I'll say that again. Don't underestimate the impact of your product, whether you're providing masks, whether you're giving candles. You don't know what mood or mentality you would shift someone from. If you're out there and you make hair products for someone, don't underestimate the value of that hair product, what it may do for that person mentally. not just physically, but mentally put them in a better place and allow them to feel better about themselves.
Absolutely.
Even, and when I said smells, I'm thinking about the smell, the perfume. Yes. You never know how it may brighten someone's day. Have you ever done any research about what certain scents that you create do for the mental health?
Yes, I have. And there are different scents that evoke even memories. I have one called Grandma's Pocketbook, and it smells like a peppermint. And for me, it takes me back to Wheeler Street, Church of God, sitting on the wooden pews next to Granny and giving a peppermint in church. So either I'm sitting still and I'm not talking, but it just takes me back to going to church with my great grandmother and my grandmother. There are scents that, like lavender, that relaxes us. Mm-hmm. There are scents that give us even productivity, that result in giving us some energy. Some of those scents are a variety of citrus, even like a Christmas tree smell. That's also one of the scents that will give us a little burst of energy and some.
So it's interesting when you say that, because sometimes when certain holidays come around, people get in a different mood, or they hear a certain Christmas song, or they want the tree and the smell of it. Yes. So also another thing that reminds me of grandmother's purse, grandmother's purse, and when you talk about the peppermints, do you remember Durin, Church of God?
Yes.
Jonathan's
Grandma Bowen
would dig into her purse with a strong grip.
She had the littlest of hands, but when she reached into that purse, her purse was black. Mm-hmm. And that, guys, think about that claw machine that gets the candy, gets the plush animal. Her hand was like that. Her little hand would go in that purse and then come out like this
with 32 peppermints,
and it's just dangling. And then we as kids, our hands are cupped and we're so excited because we know what's about to happen. We're about to get all the peppermints, and there would be some butterscotch in there too.
Oh yeah.
Some strawberries.
So that's good that you're able to create scents that also bring back good, beautiful memories of people and loved ones and things like that. Mm-hmm. So guys, I implore you, check out her website, check out those things, and we'll make sure we leave all of that in there so you can know how to get to it. And I have a few more questions, but before I get to it, if someone did want to go pause this interview and go look at some of the products you have, where would they go?
They would go to poshlifestyleco.com. So it's Posh Lifestyle Company, but company is abbreviated. poshlifestyleco.com. And I also have an iced coffee candle as well. It's got like the ice cubes and everything. So if you also need that pick me up, that smell of caffeine wakes us up as well.
I remember when you told me about the iced coffee candle, and I know my pastor at Mount Zion, she drinks coffee, I think every single morning, but sometimes we are fasting. So I think that if you fast and you have to go without coffee, you definitely need this candle so you can still get your fix. But anyway, another question I wanted to ask, and you briefly skimmed over it earlier. When you relocated from Georgia to Alabama, how did that affect your business as an entrepreneur? Because in Georgia, you have your events that you're going to, you have your clients, your customers. How did it affect you?
Ooh, it affected, the move affected my business greatly. Just because you have a great service, a great product, great skill, does not mean that they're going to come knocking and calling and online placing those orders. You have to start all over again. And I moved to a town that is very small and it's very close knit, and literally everybody knows everybody. So they've kind of already have their cake lady, so to speak. Whereas I was someone else's cake lady. Now I'm here trying to knock down doors.
You're trying to take over the block, and somebody already posted up.
Yes. So I joined the Chamber of Commerce there, attended some networking events.
What is the Chamber of Commerce and what is the point of going there?
So the Chamber of Commerce, in short, each town has a Chamber of Commerce. You have a membership, there's membership fees. And with that membership, depending on, because the benefits vary, you attend networking events. Sometimes they have business classes that you can attend. They usually have some type of marketing benefit as well, type of different perks as far as choosing to be a member of the chamber. And then they also have the one that I know now, they have ribbon cutting as well. So you can announce the opening of your business. Everyone comes out, there's a ribbon, and there's press, media coverage. And that's the gist of it. It's just networking, learning how to connect with other business owners, and possibly see how you can serve the community that your business is in as well.
So you have to get up and get out,
yes,
and connect with people.
Absolutely.
And of course, it doesn't always equal a sale, but
No.
you're putting in the groundwork that it takes to make the right connections and network and kind of figure out the lay of the land.
Yes.
And how to maneuver in a new environment, in a new city, what the economy is looking like and what opportunities are there. So an entrepreneur, you cannot be lazy.
No.
You have to get after it. And so that's good that we talk about that. And let's see, one other question I did have is, what to you are pros and cons of being an entrepreneur that is selling product?
Pros and cons. Okay. So as far as pros for myself, it is the outlet of creativity. I've been raised in a home where it's always been a service oriented focus, emphasis in our family on how to serve others. I'm allowed to have this creative outlet. I'm able to serve others, to make somebody's life different, better. And then also, in essence, take some risks, and it be okay to take the risk, because each risk comes with a lesson learned. It's never a mistake or something that I have to erase. It's something that I can pencil down, I can log and say, okay, when I did this, it went this way. And so those are some of the pros with it. And then some of the cons does come with, sometimes there is a no. And I shrug, because the no isn't necessarily a bad thing. Either, again, when I mentioned earlier, if I make a mistake, so if I have the no, maybe it was my pitch, maybe it was my product, maybe it was just no for not now, maybe I was in the right neighborhood but at the wrong house. So I get to explore and navigate and research and figure out where my yes is going to come in. So entrepreneurship, another benefit, getting to know other people in my community and getting to know other businesses in my community. So those are the pros and the cons. Now, there are some cons on financially. I personally will not tell you at this point, but I went through 2 years of research before I even opened my business. And you may see where some people will say, oh, well, starting a candle business there's low overhead. Yes, low overhead compared to something else, but there's a lot to invest to get this right, because it is a chemistry. There's an element of chemistry to this as well. So I'm making sure that I have the right amounts and having the correct formulas for each one, and no candle is the same. So there are some cons with the expenses of investing in yourself, but